The people of the Motherland have come, and it's good that I am Superman of Doom Chapter 31. It can be seen that the intrusion level has just been adjusted from G to D, field contact when it is necessary to carry isolation armor, general authority personnel cannot be contacted. Judged to be an invasion creation, the degree of danger is unknown. One entry in the last intrusion report. In addition to the record of killing adult macho dogs with bare hands. A new personal record has been added to, the only one who survived the area of ball lightning at the scene of the alien spacecraft crash. The middle-aged inspector continued to add the previous investigation record, body temperature and body surface hardness, they're a non-human performance. The young female agent asked, "Sir, what should we do now? The alien spacecraft invasion of the creation side also needs a large number of supernatural department colleagues to deal with." Quote, "I've asked other paranormal departments in surrounding cities for support. You still follow the process and make an appointment with the headquarters to apply for the advent test of the guardian spirit dragon girl." Quote, the middle-aged inspector looked straight at the silver-haired boy in the isolation room. He should have been infected and invaded by the contents of that alien spaceship. The intrusion level must be determined as soon as possible so that we can facilitate subsequent processing. Quote, he thinks this because last week, when the Guardian Dragon Girl came to the test, it confirmed that Meng did not show signs of invasion. Therefore, it can only be the acquired invasion caused by the fall of this spacecraft. At this time, in a dream, Meng's consciousness gradually woke up, and the picture reflected in his consciousness was a vast and infinite cosmic space. A small spaceship is dragging the tail flame and traveling alone, heading towards the destination of civilization set for Earth. And a 3-meter-tall gray and white bone spur monster is holding a small spaceship together. No matter how you look at it, it is a little funny, but Meng can't laugh at all. This is Doomsday. This is me, another incarnation in another dream. 0035 Incarnation of the Ancient Day of Doom. What is Doomsday? This creature comes from the DC universe and has different versions of the setting, but the origin is directly related to Krypton or Kryptonians. In Yimin's previous life, this creature was known because Doomsday had a real record of killing Superman in frontal battles, and even squashing supervillain Darkseid calling his father. It is also known as Superman's Day of Judgment, and it is the fate of the god of the world. How strong is Superman depends on how strong he thinks he is. Doomsday is always more powerful than Superman, born to kill and destroy, is the end of all things in the universe, internal genes determine their own irrationality. It has earth-destroying power and infinite energy, flying jumping power, infinite physical energy that never feels tired, and super-fast healing and regeneration ability. In battle, according to the opponent's ability characteristics, you can constantly evolve to restrain your opponent and adapt to all environments and all enemies. Because Doomsday has problems at the beginning of its birth, it is out of control, and it is impossible to distinguish between friend and foe, and it is a completely never-ending killing machine. Dream's consciousness recalled the setting and characteristics of the creature of Doomsday, and finally understood why he tried his best to forget this memory 3 years ago. Even if you escape, you don't want to return to this incomparably real nightmare. 3 years ago, Meng entered this DC universe dreamland, becoming the first Doomsday since the birth of Krypton for the first time. Ancient Doomsday. As the incarnation of the ancient Doomsday incarnation, he first entered the current DC universe dreamland. Meng killed tens of thousands of Kryptonians on Krypton out of control, and finally was locked up inside Krypton, and has been imprisoned for thousands of years as the embodiment of Doomsday. Yes, Meng's nightmare 3 years ago was lost on Krypton as an ancient day of destruction for thousands of years. Therefore, after Meng woke up, the subconscious mind selectively forgot the memory in this dream in order to avoid the collapse of its own consciousness. Despite this, his realistic self-disposition and personality are still permeated and distorted by the avatar of Doomsday in his dreams, if not later redeemed from Tifa. Meng gradually regained the past, but it was like opening Pandora's box, and he felt palpitations more and more. I thought that in the dream of the Marvel world, after receiving the blessing of artificial intelligence characteristics, I could barely face the dream avatar on this side. Unexpectedly, I just entered the DC Universe dream and became the embodiment of Doomsday for the second time. The absolute rationality of Meng's artificial intelligence was instantly crushed by the idea of destruction, and it ran away out of control. He broke free from the cage that imprisoned him, rushed out of the interior of Krypton, and ravaged and destroyed a Kryptonian city. Sank countless Krypton warships and buildings. Also killed Superman's biological parents with his own hands. Yes. Meng naturally saw that the sleeping Kryptonian baby on the small spaceship was not the original future protagonist of this DC Universe dream, Superman, Clark, the god of the Earth. Meng's consciousness was silent. Although Krypton was supposed to be destroyed today, he buried many lives with his own hands. Of course, Meng will no longer choose to escape, whether it is the real world or the dream world. If one day, I am killed in this dream as the Day of Doom, it will be my guilt or not. Meng's mood calmed down and began to confirm his current situation. His current ambiguous and clear consciousness is at the junction of dream and reality, so he has not reincarnated as the Day of Doom, but he has not woken up to return to reality. Yi Meng's consciousness turned back, in addition to being able to see his own Doomsday incarnation in the current dream. It seemed that he could also faintly see the body lying unconscious on the hospital bed in reality. Aren't the high temperatures and skin exoskeleton hardening that appear in the real body the characteristics of Doomsday? In the dream, the day of destruction that should not be tired sleeps humanely after slightly satisfying the desire for destruction. Which really represents that this ancient day of destruction is essentially the embodiment of Yi Meng's self-consciousness. The Doomsday avatar is different from the previous sword avatar and artificial intelligence avatar. Yi Meng's consciousness clearly realized a little. The connection between the Doomsday avatar and the real self is much deeper than that of other dream avatars. It is no longer Yi Meng's unilateral invasion of the dream world, and the day of destruction in the dream is also invading the essence of assimilating reality at a terrifying speed. Even if Yi Meng wakes up at this time and leaves the DC Universe dreamland, the power and will to destroy will all transition to the real world with his awakening. Reducing his body to a runaway Doomsday monster. Can't wake up. Escaping this dream is also not a good way, which will only make him lose control of DC dreams. There is only one way, the only way. Yi Meng's consciousness struggled for a moment, and then he no longer hesitated, and flowed towards the bone spur monster holding the spaceship. The consciousness at the junction of reality and dream is once again in line with the Doomsday incarnation. Which is also the first time that Yi Meng has taken the initiative to dream of the Doomsday. DC Universe. Earth, Smallville, Kansas, United States. As a vast and sparsely populated plain, there are only a few farmers' cottages, surrounded by patches of farm wheat fields. It was late at night, and darkness shrouded the four wilds. The stars shimmered faintly in the night sky, but at this moment, one of the stars suddenly became brighter. The unknown white flying object is like a meteor cutting through the sky, ejecting day tail flames, breaking through the atmosphere, and continuing to fall obliquely towards this side of the plain. With a bang, the silence was broken. The flying object landed on the farm next to a wooden house, the earth shook, the earth splashed, and continued to plow a deep trench up to 10 meters. What happened? In the neighboring wooden house, Jonathan Kent and Martha Kent, the farmer couple, were about to sleep when they were woken up by a loud noise outside. I'll take a look outside. Jonathan, who is in his 30s, immediately rolled over and got up, removed the shotgun from the wall, turned on the flashlight, pushed the door and walked out of the wooden house where he was now. Worried about her husband's safety, Martha followed behind. The couple came to the farm outside the wooden house and saw the plowed farmland. What's that? Jonathan shone the light of the flashlight towards the end of the deep gully. His blue pupils contracted sharply. It was like a white flying machine that had never been seen before, and through the transparent cabin of the head of the aircraft, you could vaguely see that there was a baby lying inside. My God! Martha opened her mouth wide and was about to walk forward. Suddenly, the earth and the flying machine trembled violently. Under the terrifying gazes of Jonathan and Martha, a 3-meter-tall and miserable white hideous bone spur monster slowly climbed up from the bottom of the spaceship. And a devastating golden red light flashed in his eyes. Just one glance, like being stared at by the abyss of fear, can completely lose something called courage. As if sensing the breath emanating from the monster's body, the barking of dogs and chickens not far away stopped, even the insect chirping suddenly fell silent. And the entire plain became deathly silent. Without waiting for the couple to react, the bone spur monster's gaze seemed to fall back on the flying machine, and suddenly picked up the spaceship that was 2 or 3 times larger than itself. And the next moment it made a slight squatting motion, a powerful rushing hurricane was set off in place. The bone spur monster and the flying machine in one hand jumped into the air and disappeared in an instant, leaving the Kent couple paralyzed on the ground. 0036 targets Superman's Day of Doom. In the early hours of the morning, near dawn, a retro police car with flashing lights stopped in front of the farm. Yes, I am the complainant, Jonathan Kent, and a flying machine has just fallen on my manor, and there seems to be a baby less than a year old inside. Quote, there was also a horrible monster that took the baby away. Oh my God, I can't imagine what happened to that baby. The farmer's Kent couple described it to the officer who got out of the police car. The 2 officers who arrived at the scene looked at each other. A spaceship falling from the sky? A 3-meter-tall monster? Chapter 1 previous